welcome back to my Southampton career. It's been a little while since the last episode, I've had a busy couple of months, but we're back, and before we really get into it today, the Carabao Cup final has been played, and it is Arsenal who came out victorious. Liverpool losing the final in game just like they did in real life. Who says this game isn't realistic? Wow, 2-1 on penalties, that must have been thrilling. And there's further confirmation of the result, 1-1 after extra time and 2-1 on pens, so well done Arsenal. Moving on, and there's not an awful lot happening at the moment for us, as I think it was an international break followed by another FA Cup weekend, so we'll take a look at those results shortly, along with the Champions League results. But first, Freiburg have considered our asking price for Aribo, and surprise surprise, it's the lowest possible acceptable price I suggested, which I think is only 500,000 more than their initial offer. Wait, no, it's only 50,000. 500,000 would have been brilliant. Oh well, every little helps, so I guess we'll just agree to make the deal. Moving on again, and more scout reports, blah blah, something to do with a youth player there, and oh, there's confirmation of the deal for Aribo. He's agreed to their terms, and so he's off to Germany in the summer. An A-rated deal, what more can you ask for, really? I mean, I'd ask for a further 150k, but I'm not picky. And it's a role update for young Theo Simmons, who I think is actually our newest addition to the Youth Academy. I just completely forgot to mention him before. Anyway, he's gained a basic understanding of the half winger role fairly quickly as well, so well done lad, keep up the good work. A couple of emails to look at. Obviously Aribo has been sold, but also a youth player's wanting promoted or released. It's Horn, the goalkeeper. He's currently rated 61 and his potential doesn't look great, but I'd still rather keep him than let him go, so we're going to give him a senior contract. Welcome aboard, Gabriel. You're going straight into the loan list. I was going to give you the cup results, but I've been doing a lot of talking already, so I think I'll do it after our match with Crystal Palace. So here is their possible lineup. And again, it's kind of weird looking, a little bit wild. It might be right, but I couldn't really tell you to be honest. Their tactical playstyle is wing play, just like Wolves, so a similar game to that one would be lovely. And at this point, why would we train any differently to usual? So stop the ball, it is. And also, why would we change a winning formula? So we're going to go with the same team that beat Wolves, which means it's another start for Cameron Archer. And we'll just change the Palace kit to black, just to be on the safe side. So no kit clash there. And let's get into it.
The magical feeling of match day and the desire to lose yourself in the moment, that's what today is all about. A meeting of two talented sides ready to go at it in front of a capacity crowd, not to mention the eyes of the wider football world. Comprehensive coverage coming up live on EA TV.
Thanks for joining us at St Mary's Stadium, not far from Southampton's famous docks. I'm Guy Mowbray, and alongside me for commentary is Sue Smith.
The wide midfielders, they'll offer a threat in behind.
Chance for the lead. Oh, he's missed it. Big chance to open the scoring.
Oh, he'll be disappointed with that. Maybe it just came to him a little bit early.
Well, it was a good result for Southampton in their last outing against Wolves. How do you think they'll fare today?
Yeah, 2-0 at home, you can't complain with that. It's tough to call today, though. Two evenly matched teams. It's hard to predict a winner, so I'm going to sit on the fence and go for a draw.
And the defence has done its job to stop any trouble brewing. I'm being told of a goal in the game at the Amex Stadium, so let's cross to Alex Scott. This is who I've been looking forward to seeing most today. Are we going to see him play a prominent role here, Sue?
Yeah, what form he's been in. 4 goals in 3 matches. He's been so clinical in front of goal. It's going to be difficult for anyone to try and stop him today.
And it crosses the line for a corner. And they've gone with a short one. And the attack is over. Really good defending. Being pressed here. Lovely ball, could be a chance. He's in here. The goalkeeper ready for it. Really good stop. Omil Belakocha. Lovely weighted pass.
It's all even Stevens at 1-1 with 27 minutes played.
Nice one, Alex, thank you. Chance to go ahead. And it's a pretty good save by the keeper. Mateta. Promising position, this. Using his strength well. Trying to carve out the angle. It's a challenge that's brought a whistle and a free kick. And cleared well away from goal. They decide against putting it into the box. Good-looking ball played in. Well, maybe only a half chance. It's missed by quite a distance. He's beaten his marker here. He takes it on. Well, it did look promising, but threat averted. Weighted beautifully. This has to be. It's in. 1-0. And that could change the shape of the game.
Well, take a look at this. The pace they show on transition, it's just so impressive. The defenders can't stay with them. And what a finish. He goes for power. It was never in doubt. He just looks so confident running through.
So it's 1-0 as the game restarts.
I thought that was a pretty entertaining first half, similar to the Wolves game in that we were able to stop them from getting into the box a lot of the time. Manning had to do a lot of the defending against Wolves, but it was Walker Peters that was more involved this time. He was beaten a couple of times by the winger, but he always managed to recover and get back. I think the whole back line is defended really well. We've had some exciting counters and nice play in general, but again Archer looked like a wasted shirt for most of the half until he finally scored with his 6th attempt, and then after that he was pressing like a madman. He really should have scored earlier than he did, but at least he scored when he did, because I might have considered taking him off at half time. A bit more possession in the second half would be nice, but as long as the performance levels don't drop, then we should be alright.
And the game restarts. That set up the chance. Picks out a teammate. Well, that's what he's there for. It's a good stop. Now, can he get the cross in? So a chance to draw level from this corner, perhaps. And it's a short one. Kamada. Well, that's how to deal with it. Nicely gathered. Could be a chance! And just off target. Oh, could be a chance here. And after that, there'll be no surprise if a red card's shown. And he's going to go here. The red card is out.
Well, he can't argue with the decision. It's a real blow for them, but that's a silly challenge.
And it's cleared the crossbar. It was so close. Eberechi Eze. And Ketia. And that's where it ends, with possession lost. Decent chance, this. Very well kept out, alert and ready. Eze. Mateta. Good vision. Great defending. We're hearing now of developments at the Etihad. Alex Scott has goal news.
Yep,
Another goal for Leicester City. The goalkeeper will be looking at himself on that one. He was totally out of position and it was an easy finish. They're back in this now with 68 minutes played.
Alex keeping us right up to date. Now to deliver a good ball in. And that one goes out and away. There's a good amount of freedom here. Genuine chance. Somehow he's missed the chance, a big one.
Well, you've got to at least test the goalkeeper from there. That's a real opportunity missed.
Eze. Armstrong. Good ball in behind. It's there, and it's a goal. That's a real settler for them. 2 in front now.
Well, we can see it again now, and what a perfect cross that is. It's just inviting someone to attack it, and the movement is good to get on the end of it, and it's a simple finish in the end.
Kamada. Nketiah. He'll try his luck. And that wasn't bad, but it had to be better. Armstrong. Weighted beautifully. And it's a pretty good save by the keeper. Played through nicely. Oh, they were getting interested there, but not anymore. And the forward progress continues. Trying his luck. Well, not the easiest of saves, but you'd expect him to probably stop that. Munoz. Looks a good ball. Now there could be a chance to counter. They couldn't quite take advantage in the end. There is the final whistle. Plenty of positives for them to take away, not least the 3 points, Sue.
Yeah, it was a positive performance. Some of their play today was great to watch. They moved the ball quick and created some really good openings. It's a good result.
It's another 2-0 win for the Saints. At least in this one there was quite a bit more action and excitement. Palace continued to dominate possession in the second half, but our defence continued to stand firm as well. We looked really good in attack, utilising the counter-attack to good effect. I thought the red card was soft. I'd be raging if it was the other way around, but we absolutely take it. I really wanted that Colin Battle free kick to go in because he's deserved the goal. He's been absolutely superb, but it wasn't to be. It looked like after the red, Palace made an attacking change rather than plugging the new hole in the back line. It seemed like they became more aggressive, so it's like they were really going for it. We were able to really expose the gaps, but Lacroix and Riyad done brilliantly to get back and stop us from really capitalising on those chances. Archer maybe could have got another. Fernandes really should have got one from a chance that was similar to the second goal before the second goal. Some nice play from Archer and Cornet before Fernandes hit the shot just wide of the near post, and then the second goal was just like that, but from the opposite side, and it was Bertrand Diaz, one of the substitutes, that was there to convert it from Archer's low cross. A lovely goal that really eased my nerves, because with all the missed chances I couldn't help but think back to the reverse fixture back in December when we took the lead but then lost 3-1. So 2-0, and I think we were then able to see out the game fairly comfortably and pick up another massive 3 points. This was a midweek game, so we do have another game coming up at the weekend, but before we get into that, I promised you some cup results. Starting with the Champions League round of 16.
All you children gather round.
After a 1-1 draw at the Etihad, Manchester City beat Bayern Munich 2-1 in Munich to reach the quarter-finals. After losing the first leg 2-1 in Bergamo, Dortmund romped to victory in the second leg, beating Atalanta 4-1 to progress to the next round. Lille and Aston Villa had an uneventful second leg that ended 0-0, but with Villa winning 3-1 at home in the first leg, it was them that made it through. Leverkusen made it through fairly comfortably in the end, beating Juventus 2-0 at home and 2-1 away, making it two German sides in the quarter-finals at the expense of Italian clubs. It was a very tight contest between Arsenal and AC Milan, as the North London club were held to a 1-1 draw at home, but with them winning the first leg in Milan 1-0, it was the Gunners that made it through. As expected, Atletico Madrid had no problem dispatching Celtic, winning 1-0 away and 3-0 at home to progress to the next round. Inter Milan were held to a 0-0 draw in Lisbon, but had no real issues at home, beating Sporting Club de Portugal 3-0 to book their place in the quarter-finals. And finally, Liverpool squeezed past Barcelona in what looks like a tie that could have had some very nervy moments. The Reds defeated Barca 2-1 home and away to give us our last quarter-finalist. And so the draw for the quarters sees Borussia Dortmund versus Arsenal, Bayer Leverkusen versus Atletico Madrid. An All-England tie sees Manchester City versus Aston Villa, and finally Inter Milan versus Liverpool. Now on to the FA Cup results, and we've got a shocker too. Fulham gave it a good go, but Man City won the tie 3-2 to make it through. Preston are currently sitting in mid-table in the Championship, so it's a bit of a surprise to see them beat one of the Championship's high flyers Burnley 2-1. Not quite as surprising though, as Norwich making it into the semi-finals at the expense of Arsenal. It finished 2-2, and then the Canaries won the penalty shootout 5-4, so it's no domestic double for Arsenal this year. Unless they somehow win the league, I guess. And the mammoth tie between Liverpool and Chelsea saw the Blues come out on top yet again, winning 2-1 at Anfield. The semi-final draw was unkind to the Championship sides, as Norwich will face Chelsea while Preston get Man City. They do have the home field advantage, so you never know. I'm not writing them off yet, however it does look like we're headed for a City-Chelsea final. We are getting way ahead of ourselves though. Let's bring it back to the mission at hand. Next up for us is Tottenham Hotspur. So if we look at the possible team, we can see that they've got plenty of decent options to choose from, while their tactical style is gegenpress, so we're going to need to be on our A-game to survive their press and then counter to good effect while they commit more bodies forward. Otherwise this is going to be a very long and painful game. Stop the ball, of course, and I know we've won 2 games back to back without conceding, so why change the team? Well, no disrespect to Wolves or Palace, but Spurs do have quite a bit more quality in their team, and their tactical style is quite a bit different too, so I think some changes are required. Spurs have some very quick players, so I'm giving Wellington a rare start ahead of Manning, just to hopefully handle the pace a bit better. They also have a strong midfield, so I've picked Ugochukwu ahead of Downs just for a little bit of extra muscle in the midfield area. And probably the most controversial change, I'm going to drop Archer. Just hear me out. Despite scoring 3 goals in the last 2 games, his link-up play hasn't been great. His goals have just kind of came from him getting a little break from the defender and then a nice finish, but when he's had to be involved a bit deeper, he's been disappointing. I think in this game, we're actually going to have to use the striker a bit more to help get us forward in the first place, so that's why I've gone with Ablin. We've only really seen him play once, but one thing that did impress me in that performance was his link-up play, so here's hoping he doesn't disappoint. Now that I've thought all that through, watch the game be completely different to how I've predicted it. Let's just get into it then, shall we?
Well, what a game we have in store for you today. The hype has been building all week, and we're just moments away from kickoff time. Stay tuned for the live action. And hello, wherever you're watching, welcome to North London. I'm Derek Ray in the commentary position, and alongside me is the former Arsenal and West Ham midfield player Stuart Robson. And we've got Premier League action coming right up. It is Tottenham Hotspur up against Southampton.
Thanks, Derek. Well, this should be a decent game today. Both managers will have a game plan. Both teams have a certain style of play, and both sides will want to start quickly. I'm looking forward to this.
And Spurs will go with this starting 11.
Well, it's a back four, a narrow midfield three, and a very disconnected front three. But if the midfield players give good support to the central striker, this 4-3-3 system could work really well today.
He takes aim. Oh, tremendous work from the keeper to avert the danger. And that's going to result in a goal kick. Well, for the visitors, an awful lot they need to do better in terms of scoring goals. Look at that record, Stuart. Not a pretty sight.
Well, on the road, they're just too negative in their attitude. Whether that comes from the coach or the players, only they will know. But unless they can be more expansive in their play, they'll struggle to score again today.
Well, Southampton were victorious when last they took to the pitch against Crystal Palace. Expectations for this game as far as you're concerned?
Well, that 2-0 victory at home was not as easy as the scoreline suggests. They were just better in both boxes. Today would be tougher, though, and I can see them being outplayed in midfield and losing this one.
That was perfectly timed, and it is going to be a corner. Trying to pick out a teammate. Danger averted for now. Well, he couldn't get the header on the target, but you've got to give credit to the defending. Walker-Peters. Well, they keep passing away. And a decent delivery. Well, they can keep possession of it now. Teammates available. Timo Werner. That's a good-looking pass. And really tried to blast that one past the keeper, but his radar was a bit off. Archie Gray. Giving it a try. Oh, good work to deny the opportunity.
Well, Spurs have dominated the flow of the game in the last 15 minutes or so. You sense it's inevitable the goal will come. It'll be certainly no less than they deserve. They just need to be a bit more clinical in that final third now.
Well, first they have a bit of defending to do. And we saw the situation developing. Dangerous ball. Strong hand on that one. And the ball back with Spurs now. Matar Sarr. Dominic Solanke. Excellent defending. Werner. Well, untidy in possession from Spurs. Walker-Peters. And there it breaks down, but credit to the defence. Oh, moving it nicely. Matar Sarr. And a chance to whip it in here. So the referee blows his whistle for half-time. A tense contest so far.
Well, it's 0-0, so that's not bad, but it wasn't very good. Maybe that's a bit harsh on our defence, because they've played alright, but it just not been good enough going forward. I said we'd need to use the counter-attack to good effect, and we just haven't done that at all. I know we've had 0 shots, but it's actually the 78% pass accuracy that's bothering me the most. If we could just be a bit tidier with the ball, then maybe we could get into some dangerous areas, and then who knows what could happen. Aberdeen hasn't had much to work with, unfortunately. The Spurs defence is physically strong and pretty quick too, so to be fair to them, they've played really well so far, but at the same time they probably haven't had to, or even had to try that much. Here's hoping the second half is a bit better, just as a spectacle in general, although I'd probably bite your hand off for a 0-0 right now.
And the second half has started here at the home of Spurs. Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Kyle Walker-Peters has it. A chance maybe from the wide position. Can he finish here? Well, it's a moment he would like to have back if possible. And a change for Spurs at this juncture. Well, we always enjoy bringing you live action on EA TV and Premier League action coming up. It's Tottenham Hotspur facing Wolves.
I like the look of that game. The atmosphere is always good inside that stadium, and two very good teams.
Oh, Stuart, they must score! There is the goal to open the scoring! Who can say they don't deserve to be in front?
Well, I think that shows what a good rapport he has with the players.
Determined defending. Maxwell Cornet could be dangerous. Sarr. Matar Sarr. So a half an hour remaining. Well, the attack carried an initial threat, but fizzled out. And we have more live Premier League action coming up for you soon on EA TV. It's Southampton facing Aston Villa. Plenty of support here. He could pick out a teammate. That's effective pressure, high up the pitch. Walker-Peters. Walker-Peters. Well, they continue their push for the equaliser, but definitely not forcing it. Delivering it into the box. No-nonsense clearance. Really good challenge. Cornet. And cleared away. Matar Sarr. Timo Werner. Well, he stopped them in their tracks. So deciding to make a personnel change at this juncture.
To be replaced by number 17, Ben Brereton.
Son. Real chance. And the goalkeeper covered a lot of ground to push that away from danger. 15 minutes left for play. And he read it superbly. Takes the shot. And keeping it out. Ben Brereton. On attacking possibilities. Able to skip past his man. Well read to put an end to that attack. Really doing a fine job of protecting the ball. It might be on for them. Well, the header needed to be a lot better than that. Didn't really make the keeper work. Brereton. This could be troublesome. Offside it is. Well, they have been getting 3 substitutes warmed up. And by the look of it, all 3 are coming on. Well, getting close to full time now, and maybe it's not going to happen for the visitors, Stuart.
Well, I think their forward play has been poor today. They've not had enough movement from the front players, and the midfield have been too safe with their passing. Unless that changes in these final few moments, they'll get nothing from this game.
Dominic Solanke. And Spurs moving the ball with purpose. Can he finish them off? Well, he probably should have done, but couldn't take advantage of the chance.
Just listen to them. They thought that was a penalty.
Well, getting it forward, but they need an equaliser. But they took care of the situation defensively. 3 minutes of added time here. Sarr. Archer. Now can they hit them on the counter? Dangerous ball. And the danger is still there. Danger averted for now. And that is going to be all for this game. A frustrating day at the office for Southampton. No points picked up. What did you make of it?
Well, I'm not sure how they're going to change things. There's no real pace in the team. They're not playing with any invention, and they just haven't got any game changers at the moment. They never really look like getting back into this game.
It just wasn't good enough at all. We created a chance, albeit a poor one, from kick-off basically, so we created more in a minute at the start of the second half than we did in the whole of the first half, which felt very positive for maybe a minute, and then Spurs went up the other end and Kulusevski scored with basically his first touch, so that was annoying. Really unfortunate that Colin Battle couldn't get rid of the ball before being robbed of it. It did take a deflection towards him without much warning, so it couldn't really be helped. After the goal though, we had quite an extended spell in the Spurs defensive end. We kept them in for quite a while, but still really couldn't create anything, so it was all for naught. They finally got out and then it became kind of end to end, but we never really got as far as their actual end. Well, they had quite a few attempts on our goal. Ramsdale did well to keep us in it, keep the score at 1-0, but it didn't matter. We made some subs to try and inject some more energy, and the effort was there, but the quality just wasn't. So yeah, disappointing result, but I think the performance was probably just a little bit more so disappointing, so yeah. Let's see how that affects the table. Well, the win against Palace put us back to within a point of Leicester in 17th, so that Spurs game is kind of a missed opportunity to go level on points with them. We'd obviously still be below them since our goal difference is so much worse, but it would have really ramped up the pressure. West Ham have won a couple of games on the trot to pull away from the relegation pack again, which could work in our favour, could help with the ramping up of the pressure on Leicester. Wolves managed to beat Ipswich 2-0 to give themselves a little bit of hope, but with only 7 games left to play, it looks very much like they will be going down. So, let's make sure we don't go down with them. Tune into the next episode to watch us try and avoid the drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.